Welcome back, everybody. It's Getaway Day, Friday, September 6th, 2024. Today we have a pastor released from a Nicaraguan prison, a sheriff arrested, a VA commissioner asked to resign, and more. For our second segment today, we have another guest on to take our weekly news review quiz. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. A pastor from Alabama has been released by the Nicaraguan government after being locked up since December by the Daniel Ortega administration, reports AL.com's William Thornton. Alabama's congressional delegation has been lobbying for John Britton Hancock's release, as well as that of 13 others affiliated with his Mountain Gateway ministry. The Biden administration brokered the deal. Back in December, Ortega ordered the closure of the ministry's 10 churches and the arrest of 11 pastors. He accused them of money laundering after 1 million people attended an 8-day crusade. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said Catholic laypeople, students, and others were also released Thursday. According to Sullivan, they were political prisoners who were locked up because Ortega and his First Lady and Vice President Rosario Murillo considered them threats to their authority. Lowndes County Sheriff Christopher West has been arrested for allegedly threatening county commissioners, reports AL.com's Howard Koplowitz. Back on June 24th, the commission was voting on whether to relocate Sheriff's Office investigators to the former town hall in Hayneville. Harris has been accused of disrupting those proceedings, as well as threatening the commissioners. WFSA reported that Lowndes County Commissioner Robert Harris signed a warrant charging the sheriff with misdemeanor harassment and obstructing government operations. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey has called for the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs Commissioner to step down, reports AL.com's John Sharp. She also fired a member of the board that oversees the department. The governor told Kent Davis that if he resigned by 5 p.m. yesterday, he could work through the end of the month. He did not resign by 5 p.m., however. Ivey said she's prepared to take other action. Now, in a release, Ivey said there was ample cause for Davis to be removed. She pointed toward the handling of a grant program as one reason. A woman in the country illegally has agreed to plead guilty to charges that involved her voting in several elections, reports AL.com's Carol Robinson. The woman assumed a U.S. citizen's identity and obtained a passport that she used to travel between Russellville and her native Guatemala. She's been in the U.S. since 2008, took the other woman's identity in 2011, and started voting in 2016. Now, it's believed that she's voted at least 4 times. She could face up to 12 years in prison for all her charges. Let's make this today's PSA of the day. I know there's a lot of encouragement out there for people to vote. That's great. Before you do it, make sure you're using your own identification, you're a legal citizen, and you're good at voting. Okay, that last thing's not mandatory. Hey, let's take a quick break to pay rent. And we're going to have a guest come into the virtual studio and take our weekly news review quiz. Now, we taped that quiz segment earlier, and my audio feed, for some reason, was a little weak, so forgive me for that. We got through it all right, I think, though. We'll be right back with Nan Green of Jacksonville, Alabama. Y'all stay with us.
Hey, thanks for staying with us, everybody. We are going to take another quiz today in the virtual studio. We have Nan Green. Welcome to the studio, Nan. And where are you in Alabama?
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on. I am in the lovely city of Jacksonville, Alabama, in Northeast Alabama.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate getting to have you here for this.
Thank you.
Can you tell me how you spend your days in Jacksonville?
I work for a company out of Tampa, Florida called Visitor Communications, and I work on a government contract for the CDC. So I actually work for the CDC out of Atlanta, and I work as a, it's a lot of acronyms. So I will tell you what they stand for. I work in the NCICP Office of Communications, and so that stands for the National Center for Injury Prevention and Control. And I am a communication specialist for them, which is like really an editor or writer. But I work remotely, fully remotely from my home in Jacksonville, but I have to go to Atlanta 4 times a year. So love it.
Remote work. See, that's a big part of my life as well. Hey, it's a crazy world, isn't it?
Yes, it is. My teammates and not really my teammates, but my team leads at the CDC, they just had to go back into the office 2 days a week. So they're adjusting to that life again. So, that'd be rough. I don't know that I could do it. I guess I would do it, but I don't know that I'd want to do it.
What do you like the most about remote work, and what do you hate the most?
Easy to say what I hate. I love friendships and companionships and being, walking down the hall and saying hey to somebody, let's go to lunch or let's do this or that. But the convenience of being at home, have elderly parents. The reason I moved back home, it's easy to be able to jump and go do something or go to a doctor's appointment or do something if I need to. So that's a big perk too. Or do the laundry or get groceries or whatever.
That's right. And it beats sitting in traffic.
Oh, absolutely. We don't have a lot of traffic issues in Jacksonville, so there's that. But you're right.
Yeah. You do lose a lot of the energy that you get around the office and your relationships and get to know folks, and you got to make yourself get out of the house.
But, like I said, we meet 4 times a year, so we make the most of that. And we have, we're on camera every day with teams, with meetings and chatting, so it's not like we're completely alone.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the way of the world. Another great part of that is getting to, and you talked about family, getting to live in Jacksonville. I mean, this is going to change sort of the whole overall, everybody leaving small towns, reversing that in places.
Right.
Well, let's get on to this quiz.
All right.
Are you a podcast listener or a newsletter reader?
Oh, no, I read the newsletter in my inbox every morning.
Okay, well, you're the first quiz taker that we've had on the show that is primarily a newsletter reader.
Really?
Yeah, they've been podcast listeners exclusively so far.
I listened to it for the first time today, just getting ready to come on the show. I listened to one.
Question number 1. A Japanese business has plans to buy this company, which is based elsewhere but has a long history inside the state of Alabama. A, U.S. Steel, B, Boeing, C, Walmart, or D, Krispy Kreme?
A, U.S. Steel.
Well, you're rocking and rolling so far. That's been a big story in the news because both presidential candidates have said that they would like to see U.S. Steel remain an American-owned company.
Absolutely.
All right. Question number 2. This university's top executive, who announced he'll retire next year, has been at the post longer than any other in the nation, according to his school. A, Auburn University, B, Alabama State University, C, Troy University, or D, the University of West Alabama.
It's Jack Hawkins from Troy.
He has been there a long time, 1989.
35 years. Yeah, he has.
The trick answer, I guess, would be for people who are familiar with West Alabama. Ken Tucker is also retiring, but he has not been at the school as long as Dr. Hawkins.
Well, I know a lot about Troy because Jacksonville State and Troy State have a long history. So I remember his name. He's been there a long time.
Yeah, he has. I went to junior college for a quarter in Andalusia at L.B. Wallace.
Oh, yeah.
I won't give the year, but
I just got back from Enterprise over the weekend.
Oh, yeah, God's Country, Lower Alabama.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, after college, I moved there, and so my children were born and raised there, so that's where their home is. My youngest son and his family lived there, so I spent the long weekend in Enterprise.
All right, let's move on to question number 3. You're perfect so far. I'm not going to jinx you. I'm going to play the part of the baseball broadcasters. They can't jinx the pitcher that's pitching a no-hitter. They can say whatever they want to do, doesn't affect it. So I'm not going to jinx you from here. All right, question number 3.
Okay.
Last Friday's high school football game between Tallahassee and Elmore County was postponed during the third quarter because of what? Controversial officiating, a power outage, an online threat of violence, or snow?
See, there was a threat of gun violence.
Sadly, that was the case.
I know.
Question number 4. Thursday was the 99th anniversary of the highest temperature ever officially recorded in Alabama. In what city was that 112-degree temperature recorded? Centerville, Tuscaloosa, Andalusia, or Greenbow?
Centerville, Alabama.
You know your history as well. Well done. You are repping our newsletter readers quite well so far.
Thank you. Thank you.
And for folks out there listening, especially the New Jersey audience, I said Greenbow. That is not a real city, Alabama. You'll just have to Google it. All right. The 5th question, I think, is the hard one because it's more obscure. I'm not trying to, put you on edge here.
Okay.
We're going to bring it a little bit.
All right.
I'll bet you remember the story. Recently, late NFL and University of Alabama football legend Bart Starr had his house listed for sale. He and his wife have passed away. The location of the house is along the 16th fairway of this Alabama golf course.
Oh, gosh. I think I know it.
Is it Greystone Golf and Country Club, Shoal Creek Club, River Chase Country Club, or Roebuck Golf Course?
I'm going to say River Chase Country Club.
Well done. Be honest. How much of a guess was that?
No, though. I remember that it started with an R. I read the story completely. I read everything I can read every day.
Oh, yes.
So I remember that it started with an R, but I wasn't sure. But as soon as you said that, I knew what it was.
We appreciate you reading every day.
I do. I love it.
Nan, I hope that you have a good rest of your week.
Thank you. I enjoyed that.
You really kicked butt on the quiz, and you'll put a lot of pressure on next week's contestant, I'm sure.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, that was fun, Nan. Thank you very much. And thanks everybody out there for listening to us. We will be back bright and early Monday morning. Until then, as always, come by and see us on the internet. We're open 24 hours a day and 7 days a week at al.com.